What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1054 of Flow Wrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined today, to my right, James Dean Rader, representing the Garden of the Gods.
Colorado.
Yeah, great place. It's where you interned. I had other words after that.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, the words just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I was, the music.
What the Garden of the Gods will do to you.
Yeah, honestly, I was in awe of that. I was in awe of that. And to my left, big hat guy.
That's right.
Tyler Meisinger, who has just an unkempt appearance right now.
Mm-hmm. It's the longest. JD said it's the longest he's ever seen my hair.
Yeah.
In person, yeah, it's true.
I've seen it longer on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
Teacup. Shout out to Teacup.
No.
One of the more famous YouTubers that I'm aware of.
Wow.
And to the way left of me would be perhaps stage right. It's Andrew Spencer Spay, fresh off the Megadeth. I didn't know if we would get Spay.
Yeah, you can't get rid of me, though.
I did not know, but there you are.
You're mega alive.
Yeah, I know. So much for a Megadeth, kind of a fraudulent band.
Mega alive. Yeah, everybody left in one piece that I'm aware of.
Okay, very.
Mosh pit at all?
No, when
Coward.
I got there, I had the pit tickets, general admission, and I remember
You had mosh pit tickets?
Tickets to the
The GA.
general admission, and I went for I was like, oh, there's an opening here. I'll just move up, and then I realized that's where the pit was actually going to be, the actual mosh pit, and I immediately freaked out. I was like, I got to get out of here. I moved way back.
Spay, you could be a mosh pit overlord. I feel if you got that dog in you.
Those days are over.
Really?
Used to
Long
be
over.
Tell us about the days.
They were a lot of fun until I cracked my head open on some concrete.
Open?
Maybe not open.
Okay. Spay can embellish.
There was an exact moment where I'm like, that is the end of that activity for me. And
What age do you think that was?
I was in my 30s. That long ago.
You have mosh pits is so funny. Just all right, let's go run into each other and hit each other to music.
Some of it, when it's really going, it's kind of violent, but everybody's still taking care of each other. But sometimes it gets slow, and then it's just guys slowly dancing with each other. Big old guys just kind of hopping around in a circle, and it's all right, that looks like fun.
Mm-hmm. I just want to know the fits you were rocking when you were there. I could see you in a Hawaiian shirt, just mowing dudes over.
I mean, people wear pretty much everything, but for the most part, they just look like this, just t-shirts,
just basically
the jackets.
Yeah. One time I wore a tuxedo. That was interesting.
I'm not
dumber guys.
I'm not falling for that one. Okay, got a great show. Allegedly, that's how we play most of them. We're gonna talk about World Team Trials, which are rapidly approaching. We've got, I guess a reminder of what is coming. We've got Who's Number One is coming, but first World Team Trials. Right now, Cadet Worlds are happening. Mm-hmm. The ladies are in the middle of competition, men's freestyle, boys freestyle, I guess you may call it, starting here soon. So that'll be great. So plenty of wrestling between now and World Team Trials in Omaha. And yeah, we've got a lot more news, I guess, to talk about with the World Team Trials. On Monday's show, we talked about Jordan Burroughs entering and all that meant for 79 kilograms. Now it feels like we have some more names that are potentially going to be competing at 79, and 61 is going to be exciting. Of course, there's 4 non-Olympic weights for each discipline. But JD, why don't you take us through the opening round? Yeah,
kind of slow time for news, but we're gonna jump right into World Team Trials and who's going to be there. We're going to start at 61 kilos. That's going to be the lowest weight there, where this bracket's going to be awesome.
For 61?
Yeah.
Yeah, 61's going to be great. I put out a tweet yesterday kind of hey, who do we think is going to be there? Obviously, Vito is the top dog at 61. He's the reigning world champion at this weight class, and presumably he will have a bye along with Zahid Valencia to the finals of this tournament. So that's notable. And so it's who's going to make it to Vito is a big question. You could have Dayton Fix is always in the mix to
presumably, but you don't know for sure.
I say presumably. It's just because I feel like I haven't read it officially, but it has to be true.
Yeah.
And I actually reached out to Zahid Valencia to confirm he was doing it, and he's like, yeah. And he said, I believe I have a bye to the finals.
Okay.
But he wasn't definitive, which made me a little less. I was like, "Oh, right, presumably."
Okay.
That's why I said presumably. I'm sure Nomad right now is looking at the trials procedures and which will reveal, or maybe Spade could look that up. Could you look up the 2024 non-Olympic World Team Trials procedures?
I am on it.
All right, we're gonna release the documents very soon about that.
No more presumably.
What was 61 like? Dayton Fix, Nashawn Garrett, is Seth Gross. I thought Seth was kind of done and moving on to like do coaching things in one of the Dakotas, and now a couple of people said he will be there. So obviously he was on the team in 22. He'll be a tough guy to beat. Do we see young guys like Marcus Blaze, Jax Forrest enter the mix? We know Marcus has stated his intent, and Jax almost wrestles in every tournament legally possible. So wonder if we would see him, and just how would you do the pecking order for a weight class like that?
Me?
I don't know.
Well, the question for me kind of is maybe how do some of these college guys?
Oh, yeah, Ryan
Dude.
Crookham.
Yeah, Ryan Crookham could be there. Maybe Nasir Bailey. Are they ready to compete with the likes of a Dayton Fix just yet?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Crookham, I'm trying to think of, some of the times we've seen him wrestle freestyle. I feel like he wasn't a guy in the mix for trying to
No,
make
not since like U17.
world teams in a while. More of a, I think he's more known for his folk style results than freestyle. I think that goes without saying. So
I think like watching Crookham and Vito's first match. What tournament was that? It was like really early in the season.
Journeyman.
A journeyman. I actually remember thinking, man, it feels like Crookham has been full stop folk style for a while, and Vito has been full stop freestyle for a while. Like just in the way that Vito was finishing, and the way that Crookham was able to scramble out of stuff.
yeah,
Went to his back a lot. And so I'm not to say that I don't think Crookham can do well at freestyle. It's just like I feel like he's kind of an unknown.
I think he's an unknown at this point as well. I think we know he can wrestle with all these guys, but where's he at tactically? He's more of a wild card, whereas I feel like even some of these high schoolers, we know kind of where they're at because they wrestle so much freestyle. Ryan, that's not the case. Nasir Bailey, does he enter the mix? Do we see, what others are there? To me, I'm excited to see how Dayton Fix looks this time around. Different, a training situation he hasn't been in a long time. David and company have been there since May. So it's not a lot of time, but we may see something. We may see nothing. Maybe just like the same very, very good Dayton Fix. But is he ready to take that next step and get back on the team is really the question I'm wondering.
I feel like Vito's in his own tier, and then I feel like Nashon is in his own tier under him. How do you feel about that?
I don't.
With the variance of performances from Vito, you don't maybe put Dayton in that tier as well?
No.
It's like, even Vito lost this year during the regular season in folk style.
I don't care.
Yeah. I really
It's
just.
like when Dayton was at his best, he was a world finalist too.
Yeah, I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I think Vito has established himself, and they have to reprove. Because at World Team Trials, Dayton fell pretty substantially to Nashawn Garrett, and then Nashawn lost 2 really competitive matches to Vito, but there's separation there. I think I don't know if I would give Nashawn that Tier 2 island designation just because of the variance in his performances over the years. Like, you never know back-to-back tournaments what you're going to see from Nashawn Garrett.
Yeah.
So I would not put him that far removed from Dayton. I think those two are right there, and it's up to them to kind of prove they're ready to make that jump and take out a Vito, who's he's the reigning world champion for a reason. But to me, I do. Well, I guess I'll ask this question. But who is the best threat to knock off Vito at World Team Trials?
Probably Dayton is where my mind initially goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he. It's hard to see Nashon knocking him off, even though they had such a close series last year.
When you think about the possibility of scoring points, I feel like Nashon has way more and has proven to be able to score. We watched Dayton and Vito wrestle for how long, and It's folk style, freestyle, whatever. And I think the mat does change things for Dayton, or could. But I think they could change things for Vito as well. I think Dayton just had a hard time getting to the legs of Vito and generating offense that Vito was able to create. So that's my concern for Dayton. Whereas I've seen Nishan come out and bomb Vito.
Yeah.
And like he scores on him every single time, and he scores a significant amount of points.
Do you think Dayton could score parterre on Vito?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where maybe an advantage is, where I don't see Nahshon scoring parterre on Vito unless it's like a transition.
No, well, okay.
It will be 2 out of 3 though.
It will be 2 out of 3
to make the final, or to make the team. Sorry.
But I mean, Nahshon gutted Vito.
Did he?
I'm almost positive.
And I stand corrected.
He might have gutted him for 4 from quad pod at
Nahshon's,
one point.
Nahshon has a great gut wrench.
Okay.
So I wouldn't rule that out. I mean, I'm just going off pure memory here from 23 Final X, but he scored some big points. I'm pretty sure he had some turns in there. So they both turned each other.
Yeah, they both were scoring super high.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. In a way, like, I feel you on Dayton, but I feel like pragmatically, just looking at the history, it's tougher to say Nahshon. Or, okay, let's do this. If you had to pick from one of these 3 buckets to unseat Vito, would you say Dayton, Nahshon, or the field?
I would like to know if the field includes high schoolers like Marcus Blades and Jax Forrest.
Yeah, let's say it does.
I don't think either of those guys can beat Vito yet.
Vito at its best? No. Vito not at his best? And those 2 at their best? I don't
know that they can beat Dayton yet.
That's what I'm wondering too. Well, I
It's
think
almost like Dayton's a harder matchup.
Yeah.
Marcus Blaze literally did better at Olympic team trials.
yes. And I think the Vito question is the Vito question is important because he's coming off injury-filled season, you could say, and he won NCAAs, but he had some definite up and down moments where like Vito's not going to win NCAAs this year, and then he doesn't wrestle at trials. Probably the right decision there. So we don't know what he's going to look like. We presume he's going to be healthy, but we don't know the extent of that.
I want to rewind a little bit. You said he outplaced Dayton at Olympic trials, which is true, but Marcus Blaze only beat other high schoolers to take third at Olympic trials.
Everyone quits.
Most people quit after they lose.
Correct.
Yeah.
So while true and while it's really substantial to beat Luke Lillidahl and Jax Forrest on the backside, he didn't take out any of those. Like
Marcus didn't beat anyone?
Maybe like Nico Megaludis or something, which is pretty good. I don't know if that's true though. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if it is either.
I think Spade's looking it up.
I find it hard
Typing away.
to believe. Did you ever find the trials procedures?
Well, so I don't think they're posted because I did find the page where they do post all the trials procedures, and there's nothing for non-Olympic.
They have to be posted. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Well, they're not on this page. I Googled. I tried. They're not there. They're not where they would be. They may be out there, but they're not on the event page either.
Okay. I don't know about the. Regardless,
I think the point about like Nahshon's like how he varies in performance makes it so like if Jax or Marcus beat like Nahshon, would I be surprised? Yes, but like would I think it's impossible? No. Whereas if they beat Dayton, I would be like kind of shocked.
Okay. Is anyone gonna answer my question on like which bucket you would choose from?
That's why I'm trying to talk it out. I'm trying to talk it out.
I know.
I guess I would go Nahshon, and I'm gonna walk back what I said earlier about Dayton being higher.
Take Dayton. I did say maybe that other bucket if it has the high schoolers. So
Yeah.
you get a couple high schoolers.
All right.
Plus the rest of the guys.
Blaze did beat Nico,
Yeah.
then Luke, and then forfeit over Dayton, and then 8-1 over.
So it's not insignificant that he beat Nico. So I'm wrong about that. But he didn't beat like a Suriano. He didn't beat a Dayton.
Right.
To do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, they still are a senior level unknown and to a degree. And at 61, it'll be interesting. You know how I think it's probably better for both Jax and Marcus, if I had to guess. But yeah, I think they're probably the most interesting guys to look at headed into 61 just because we don't know, and we'll see who else enters. I think we could get surprised here.
Am I crazy for like being kind of high on Nasir Bailey?
For this situation, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, he wrestled freestyle this spring, and I feel like he took losses against like other high school or college kids
Okay.
at U20s.
That was a big highlight reel guy. He sees
Yeah. That's true.
stuff.
He for
I
sure.
like that guy.
I think eventually he'll be a good freestyler, but I don't think.
I wouldn't pick him to beat Vito, but I feel like if he did something really cool at this trials, I wouldn't be shocked either. Like no, like not just like a cool move, but like if he beat like I could see Nasir beating like Dayton.
What?
I don't know.
That's ludicrous,
I don't know.
bro. If that happens,
I like his trajectory. That's all I'm
will-
saying.
I will. Yeah. Listen, if that happens, I don't know. I'll say something audacious about you on here. I don't know. That's That is crazy to me. Nasir Bailey over Dayton Fix.
I don't know. I like Nasir's trajectory
Bro, it's not folk style.
still. Yeah, you're right.
He
He's
can-
really good at folk
He
style.
can hit no roll through tilts.
That's true.
He could though.
Look, man.
There's no laws against.
I'm going. Here's my problem: is I'm really inconsistent here. I'm like, yeah, Crookham really folk style-y.
Yeah.
So was Nasir, but I don't know. Crookham also beat Nasir last time they wrestled. He beat him twice.
Twice.
I like Nasir's trajectory. I don't know. Little Rock, man, that magic.
Yeah. All right, Keith.
Blaze beat Nasir at the U20 World Team.
Okay, then I'm super wrong.
Nasir had a good tournament, but
Yeah.
that shows you where Blaze is. Another nice win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plays super good. All right, let's go 79.
79. So we know JB's going to be there. We think, Chance is going to be there. Who else is going to be there?
Well, let's okay. Well, I think we're gonna see David Carr. I think we're gonna see Keegan O'Toole. Alex Daringer sounds like he's gonna be in the mix. Will we see Mitchell Messenbrink make an attempt? Everyone talked about how small he was, but then he doesn't want to go 70, so he must not be that small. So I guess he's gonna go 79 if he does any weight at all here, which I would like to see it. I would love to see him try.
Are you hearing that he will, or
No, I'm hearing he might,
Okay.
but I think Keegan O'Toole will.
Okay.
So those to me are the big guns. McFadden's now retired, but yeah, that's who I see entering at 79.
Is Keegan good enough to give a match to take a match from Burroughs, from a Marstller, from a ringer?
He can beat some of those guys. I don't think he can do it consecutively. I mean, Keegan has had like a couple off seasons basically shut down because of injury, and basically every other year he has to miss the entire freestyle season for injury. So health is always a question with him, and I'm excited to see how he looks, how filled in he looks at 79 kilograms, 174. It's the college weight he's moving up to. So how big and strong is he looking? I mean, it's tough to look at how he looked at NCAAs and like just how tired he got against David Carr and be like, man, this will be hard for him. But at the same time, if health was really an issue there, like which we assume it was, then maybe it was related to other things, right? But his pedigree as a freestyler is super known. I mean, the way he looked at U23s last year, incredible. The way he looked at juniors 2 years ago or 3, amazing, right? So we know he can be really high level, and we know, he pinned Byramov, who was an Olympian this year.
Mm-hmm.
So
in
he's super
2021.
good, but I think he could beat David Carr.
That's what that was my next question.
Yeah.
Is they have obviously like a super historic rivalry in folk style. I don't think they've ever wrestled in freestyle, have they?
No, I don't think so.
So like, how does freestyle change that matchup?
Now, David Carr did say in Clash of Combat this summer he might be cutting a lot more weight soon. Is he considering a move to 70?
Oh. Dang. When did he say that?
Earlier this summer.
That is interesting.
I don't know if that means for sure he's going 70 or if it's,
That's like the only thing that could mean, right?
Because it's not a significant.
Maybe he's just very large right now and
Yeah.
he's thinking about next year going back down to 74. I wasn't even talking about this here.
But I mean, 74 is like basically his college weight minus, a pound, right?
Yeah, and I think he's decent size for the weight. Maybe he just means I've ballooned up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stink bug season. Dang, that is a good point. I mean, he was a 157 national champion. 154.5 is the freestyle. I would love it if he did. I feel like 70
Really?
kilograms. Absolutely.
You're normally a bump up guy, not a cut down guy.
I mean, to me, this feels like a one-off situation.
Like, just do it 1 year.
Get on a team, right? Like,
Yeah, well then what if you get on the team in medal? Then you're gonna go up to 74 and say, "What's up, Kyle Dake?" Or you're gonna try and hold down 70?
I mean, is Kyle Dake gonna be there?
I don't know.
I think
I don't think that 70 is that much easier of a weight class than 79. Do you?
who do you think's at 70?
James Green, Jordan Oliver, Alec Pantelio. I don't know who
I
else.
mean, this weight has Jordan Burroughs in it.
Yeah, it's
Chance
fair.
Marstller.
Chance Marshall,
Ringer.
Alex Derringer. This weight is definitely tough.
But I'm saying if you cut that far down and you're not yourself.
And if you're not okay, or if you bump up and you're not yourself either. Like,
okay.
he's a 150. It's different because, yeah, I am like typically a bump up guy, but this is like 70. It's a weight he's basically wrestled at before.
Long time ago.
Not long. If it's in college, it's like not that insane.
I mean, when did he bump up? It was like 3 or 4 years ago.
2022, he was at 157. So it's not that long ago. That's when he lost to Willits. And so you hold on.
Basically the same weight.
So you factored that in, and then you factor in it's right now September, and then Worlds are like a month later, and then you can like you don't have to mess with it again. You just go 74 for the rest of the time. But right now you can't go. Probably 74 is his best weight, so you can suck it up for 2 months, or it's not like your long-term thing, and get on a team maybe. And I think his path to making a team is more manageable at 79 kilograms than it is at 70 kilograms than it is at 79. So that's my thought.
You mustered all of that thought in the last 5 minutes.
Well, he dropped the bomb.
No, I know. But you just made it sound like you've been thinking about it for a while. But like, I'm impressed
Yeah.
with how quickly you came up with all that.
I think about this stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm a cut down guy. So if he can make it,
I mean, 61's on the table for JD.
Yeah.
He's like, David. It's like, think about it. I know it's a cut, but imagine if you made 61.
think about how much bigger than everybody you would be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, so if he actually can make it, I'm skeptical that he can actually make it.
Yeah.
Well, but if he goes 79, answer my question. How does freestyle change the matchup with Keegan?
I don't think it changes.
I don't think it changes much. I think it's a really close match. If you look at how David has scored on him, it's not super folk style, freestyle specific. He's like just a really solid finisher, gets above the knee.
Well,
the way
after the duel when he beat him 2 years ago, when he rode him out, then you could maybe say,
Matt.
yeah, that it was the Matt game. But then Keegan made adjustments. But last time they wrestled, David just won the takedown battle.
The more they wrestled, the less the mat became a factor, and the more
Yes.
it became all about neutral. I think it plays out super similar to their folk style matches, really close. Can David get to legs and generate? Can Keegan counter score? Those will be the things. Both of them finish and counter. Even as scrambly as Keegan is, he's not like so reliant on rolling across his back. I guess if you had to say how much of their game translates from folk style to freestyle, I would say more of David's does, but I don't think an amount that makes it,
It's negligible.
yeah, a major change.
I also think if they wrestle, they will still be so close that we will come away going, anybody can win the next one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think somebody will separate themselves and be like, well, he's the freestyle guy. It was close in college. But assuming they're both, obviously Keegan is still in college, assuming David is still all in training, like I think they are still razor thin, and it could go either way for a while. Sometimes you see those guys post-college not really go all in on freestyle. They still continue to train and throw their hat in the ring to make teams and stuff, but they're just never the same guy. assuming David, that's not the case with David,
Yeah.
which I don't think it is. It seems like he's all about competing still and making teams. But I think they will continue to be very close.
Yeah.
Man, how cool would it be if we just got like 10 more years out of that rivalry?
I know. It'd be amazing. I would absolutely love it.
If more, that's a long time at a middleweight.
Give me 20. I don't care. I'll take as many as I can get.
All right, Kyle Snyder.
This is 74, not 97. Heavyweight.
dude.
That's all I'm saying.
Give me 25.
I'm saying Jordan Burroughs is an anomaly for sticking around this long at such a high level.
I know. I'm just saying, give me 30 more years of this rivalry, and I would love it. What you guys talked about last show, Nolf being done. Do we know that that's for certain?
He put out a post that said he's focusing on grappling.
He's focusing on greasing.
If he
He's just buying lotion everywhere.
if he was gonna be at this tournament at 79, do you think he'd be the favorite, or do you think Jordan at 79 and Chance at 79 are favored over him?
Yeah, probably disrespectfully, I will say that he would not be the favorite in my mind.
He would probably be the favorite in my mind,
Yeah.
based on the fact that he made the finals of Olympic team trials.
I just think you'll never convince me that Jordan is not a completely different person at 74 day of. And I think the results, not the results. It's not the results. It's not that he lost. It's how he loses that makes me feel that way.
The reason I ask is because it's like, man, I feel like a lot of these guys want, like, after they don't make the Olympic team, they're like done because they don't want to commit to another quad. But like, I feel like now that they have these non-Olympic weight worlds, it's like, do you have to go to jiu-jitsu right now? Like, come on, 2 more months. How do we convince Jason Nolf to stick to come to World Team Trials?
I guess you got to call him up.
Okay, I'll do it.
And you should start crying. And you should say, if you don't wrestle, I'll do something crazy.
Like, think about how, like, that would be sick if he was there too. What a loaded bracket that would
It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. And no one's sitting out, which is cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's in gin pop.
Wasn't 79 kind of like that in 21 too? There were like just a ton of people in there.
Yeah, because Burroughs wrestled Marstller and Hidley
And Nolf.
and Nolf
And Ringer.
and then Ringer in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts. And then that weight also had Starachi and Lujan in it.
Mm-hmm.
Wish we had procedures. So are they going to seed this?
I'm sure they'll seed it in some way. Maybe the pin
System?
pin system.
I do think the pin system was mentioned in the event page on USA Wrestling.
Will Penn put Chance above Burroughs since Chance beat him at Final X?
I have no idea how pin works.
I feel like
Can't help you there.
I think pin rewards like volume of competition as much as anything.
In the last year or over your total career?
Total. I think more acute, like near.
Which Chance has competed more.
Chances competed more. I mean, Ringer could be seated ahead.
Yeah.
They could be like a 2-3 type of situation. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how they'll do it. But yeah, we'll find out.
So,
What about Messenbrink? Is he going to throw his hat in the ring?
yeah.
I hope so, man.
Messenbrink Burroughs, round 2, this time in Nebraska.
Oh my gosh. That would be insane. I mean, I would love it. I hope so badly, just to see him.
Yeah.
Mitchell Messenbrink has to be, he's like appointment viewing at this point. And not to, I don't know. What he's going to do to 165 this year is going to be just like, it is the next topic.
Or now
next
Hofstra.
topic. Slaughter. And when you factor that in, it's like, I want to see this dude challenged. Like, I've already seen him against the entire 165 field, and it was not close. And the only guy that beat him is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the only guy that had a chance is up at 174. So, yeah, I want to see Mitchell tested because I feel like if he's not tested here, we're not going to see him tested for a while.
You know, he's doing U23s. I believe he has stated he's taking that position that because he made senior national team, so he just gets the 74 spot. And it's literally the same event.
You just do both.
U23s, it's back-to-back, same arena, same place, all within a week span.
Which is first?
I can't remember. I can't remember. Spake can pull that up.
See, if it's U23s, then he's like holding 163, and then he has to go up to. So that wouldn't really make sense.
It would probably make more sense
U23's
that way than the other way where you have to cut down immediately after.
U23's first, they end on the 27th, and then on the 28th, non-Olympic starts.
Yeah, so he'd be small and then go up. That's not what you want to do. So yeah, that probably won't happen.
You know who I think we see at 79 that we haven't mentioned yet that I think would be interesting is Evan Wick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was at 86 for the Nationals in December, but then he was at 79 just a couple months later at the Zagreb Open.
Yeah, he's very good at freestyle. Big guy. Big guy.
Long guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I wrestled him in high school, and he could cradle me from a quad pod.
Really?
I was in a quad pod.
He does that all the time.
Bro,
too.
he teched me by. I feel like we're battling on our feet, right? This guy got on top of me, and I'm in a quad pod, and he cradled me and just like tilted me a bunch.
Yeah.
And that's how he beat me.
Dang.
He just like, I felt humiliated.
Sounds like in freestyle you got him though.
Yeah, freestyle. Give me effing.
Honestly, you could enter. No, you
Okay, let me just
Actually,
do it.
can you enter? This is the
This
question.
is a question I had.
Yeah.
Because Bo Nickel put it out there. He was like, he was watching jujitsu last weekend, and it was like, I challenge any jujitsu athlete with no wrestling experience, go to world team trials. If you make it past the first period, I'll give you $10,000. And I think, okay, fun, whatever. But also, can you just enter world team trials? I think you have to qualify.
Normally you do. Unfortunately, we don't have. Cannot locate the features.
Yeah, the fact that Spay can't find the documents is disconcerting. That means the
That
documents.
means they're not out.
That means they're not out.
I'll take the L for it, but I found, all the other world team procedures for every other weight, for every other,
Age
team
level.
trials and everything, and they just don't have it for non-Olympic in that place.
I bet if we asked Nomad,
He would find it and put me to shame.
yeah, I'm gonna do it right now on the show. Y'all cover for me for 2 seconds.
Look, we can look up the beach world team trials for 2024.
Hey, will you pull up Bo Nickel's tweet that Tyler was talking about?
That I can also do.
The grappling one, because this was sparked by the big grappling events this weekend, and a lot of the wrestlers did not fare super well.
I think they were respectable. I think everyone came away actually impressed with the wrestlers.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that was kind of like his whole thing was like wrestlers are going to do better in grappling than grapplers would in wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I feel like, well, what do you mean you don't know? That's for sure true.
Yeah. I don't know.
So here's what my experience with like jujitsu people has been. They have extreme respect from wrestlers, but I feel like wrestlers just really like want to like be mad that at jujitsu people. Like, and they assume that jujitsu people think that they would do good at wrestling just because they can beat a wrestler in jujitsu.
I think wrestling
but
people.
no one thinks that.
I think wrestling people just get mad when we lose to jiu-jitsu people, and then they just want to be mad. Yeah, I mean, this would not go well for any of those jiu-jitsu guys if they had to enter as a strictly, whatever. But they do wrestle.
Some of those jiu-jitsu athletes who are purely jiu-jitsu athletes, and I'll give them like you can't include like a college wrestling background, but like a high school wrestling background is fine, whatever. They would win a couple matches at the U.S. Open.
I don't know, man. You got to find the right roofer.
Yeah, that's right.
Gotta find a good route, but
There's some roofers.
I don't know. We should pull up an old, like the last U.S. Open. I bet there's way less fluff now than there used to be.
my whole thing is like wrestling is a skill in grappling, but grappling is not necessarily a skill for wrestling. And I think that most jujitsu, like anytime I interact with jujitsu people, they have like tremendous respect for wrestlers.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you talk to wrestlers and there's like, oh yeah, that fake jujitsu stuff. Like, I don't know. I think there's like a one-sided beef there.
100%.
Whereas like jujitsu people love wrestlers and love wrestling.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Sound like you love
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu players.
No, I said, what? Did you listen to anything I just said?
You're giving them a lot of props. It's fine. I like grappling too.
No, yeah, I do like the jiu-jitsu athletes. I think, I don't know.
Kind of on a similar topic, did y'all see the debate? How well would Islam Makhachev do in Division I wrestling?
I can pull that tweet up as
I saw that, and I was like, my initial opinion was just like, bro, he might be really good at sambo, or he might be really good at wrestling for jiu-jitsu, but there's no way that, because people were saying that he would be a D1 champ, and I was like, no way. And then I saw a comment from,
I don't think he'd be a champ, but I think he
man.
would be good.
I saw a comment from Chase Aldate. He's like, I went on a group of 3 with him and a national champ from that year, and he got more takedowns.
But I'm like, is that is that a go with no shoes? Is that a go
which
with
changes everything.
changes everything?
And the whole weight thing, like Chase is a 149 guy. Islam's a cut everything to make 155 guy.
Yeah, who knows what weight that champ that he was talking about was.
Yeah, I mean, Islam would have to go like 174,
It's Nick Suriano.
165.
It was it was a champ from 125 that year.
I still think he would do very well.
Well, it's this question we always do it. I feel, but like if it was his focus, I'm certain he would be good at it. But right now,
Toss him on a roster right now. How does he do in March?
DNP.
But qualify?
I don't know. I don't know what we're even.
So hard to
What are we
say.
even basing this on? He's a good fighter. Like George St. Pierre, he was like taking down Josh Koscheck. Do you guys think? I watched George St. Pierre take down Josh Koscheck. Do you think he has a prayer against Josh in a wrestling match? No, not at all. If that's what he dedicated his life to, like Josh did, then of course I would say it's a possibility. But I just don't think it's not even apples and oranges.
Do you think you'd be?
I don't like that saying. You can compare apples and oranges.
Yeah, oranges are way better, dude.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even apples and oranges.
No, do you think he would be a D2 NCAA champ? Apparently, that's what Caden Henschel said.
I mean, maybe. Sure.
I think there's a good chance.
Yeah.
I think that's about the level.
Yeah, I think. That's
I don't know. How do you even gauge how good at wrestling he is?
How do you
Besides his is there footage of him wrestling people?
That's what I'm
outside of
saying.
fighting?
What are we basing this on?
I mean, I've never seen him videos of him training in wrestling shoes.
People are just like, this guy is from the mountains of the Caucasus region. Caucasus
Mountains.
Caucasus Mountains.
Caucasian mountains.
People are just like, this guy's from the Caucasus Mountains, got to be the best at wrestling.
Yeah.
Which honestly,
Also the fact-
super fair.
It's also the fact that he uses his wrestling fairly well.
Yeah.
He's a prodigy of Habib, who is known for his amazing wrestling skills in MMA, and because that's a fun hypothetical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't wrestle folk style at all though in the Caucasus Mountain region. So he's gonna have a great base, and he would have probably wrestled freestyle when he was younger and all that, gone through gyms. But I don't know, top bottom. There's a whole lot of stuff he wouldn't.
Yeah, top
You got to learn.
bottom could be rough, but
But I mean,
on the feet, I think he's just
Dude,
out there with anybody.
I mean, if you think about if he was just freestyle, then yeah. But if you're learning like sambo and like you're learning how to wrestle for fighting, like you learn how to control guys on the ground too. It's in a different way, but there's more emphasis on it than there is in freestyle.
Okay, you want to crown him? Crown him.
No, I'm just saying it's a fun hypothetical. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. I have a hard time because it's like tough to even fill in the gaps of information required necessary. It's like certainly this is a guy who's worked extremely hard and he has the intangibles and a base, but like the idea that he could, I think it's totally honestly disrespectful. Like what these D1 guys have to do to get on the level.
CP hates hypotheticals.
I don't hate them. I think we do all hypotheticals all the time, but it's like I feel like this hypothetical is
if
tough
he's 165, or do you think he'd be 174?
it'd probably be 74, honestly.
I saw someone tweet that he'd be 65.
I don't.
Let's pretend like he'd be 65. Who took 8th at 65
I don't
this
know.
last year? Does anyone remember?
Hamity did not.
I mean, Julian Ramirez DNP'd at this weight class.
Do you think Julian Ramirez would beat him in a wrestling match?
Yeah.
I do too. So there we go.
There we go. Thank you, Julian.
He loses a tight one in the blood round.
Yeah.
My official.
Peyton Hall is riding this dude into the dirt.
Yeah. No, yeah. I
He's going to
agree.
be looking for a fence to grab and climb up.
Yeah, I think Islam would not All-American at 165.
If he chose to wrestle, I'm certain he'd be amazing.
if he put a couple years into it.
Yeah.
But we're saying put him in March this year.
Yeah.
Peyton Hall beat.
It's like, it's a different question if you said, all right, okay. A better question is, all right, if you take Zhamalov and put him in a D1, how does he do? Or even not even the best in the world. A good Russian wrestler, freestyle wrestler. That's more, okay.
Okay, so how does Zhamlov do?
Yeah,
You
so
put him in a
answer.
D1 room.
Number one,
This year,
number one,
165.
number one champion. He wins it all.
I think so too.
Who was the champ at 65 last year?
David Carr.
David Carr.
David Carr, Mitchell. I mean, Mitchell versus Zhamalov.
Bro, you don't think that David would like ride Zhamalov
That's
for like
that's an
6 minutes.
that's a real possibility, but you have to get on top to.
Not 6 minutes. You could only ride him for 2 unless he takes him down.
Yeah,
I guess that's fair.
you never get more than 2 minutes.
Our friends
Well-
in the chat are getting pretty exhausted by the hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm trying to move it. they won't leave.
They want to talk
Well,
about.
would you be shocked if David like reversed him to his back or something? Either of those? I'm just saying.
Stop. Let it die.
Okay, it's dead.
All right. What else do we want to get to on this?
What about
show
this?
today?
We haven't talked about Chance. It was our number one topic here.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, Chance. What about him?
Okay, there's a question. I wrote the question. Who do you favor, Jordan Burroughs or Chance Marstller?
we talked about this when we talked-
about it in the office. How do you
No,
feel
'cause
about
we
it
said
now?
Jordan Burroughs come back, and you said you favored Jordan Burroughs, even though Chance won the series last time.
I want to know what Tyler thinks.
Okay. I think that, man, we did talk about this in the office, and it's one of those things where you're just like Jordan Burroughs bias, like mentally, you're just like, I'm never going to pick over him. But Chance basically beat him like 3 times last
Yeah.
time, guys.
But at the same time, every single match was on a razor's edge in
Yeah.
a way that was so insane that you're
You know,
like,
I was just watching. I was going through old Instagram clips looking for stuff that maybe we can like reuse for like upcoming World Team Trial stuff, and I found a clip that Connor got. He followed Jordan off the mat after match 1 against Chance, and one of the things Jordan said was like, "Man, he kept getting me. I would circle standing straight up."
yeah.
And Chance would get in on him. And
Literally.
he made a mental note of that after match 1. And Chance did that to him again in match 2 or 3, too. So, like, even though Jordan was noticing some of these things, like, Chance was still doing it. And so I'm just like, man, Chance, you give Chance time to game plan for someone. I feel like he is so good at that. But also, I don't know.
This isn't Final X. He has to go through a bracket.
Yeah, that's true.
They both do.
Yes.
That's true too. And also, yeah, it's weird because you look at Final X 22 and Final X 23, they look so different. Like there are some, Jordan is always gonna have a hard time generating at the level he normally does, but he was getting takedowns. He was getting leg attack takedowns in a real way. We did not think Chance would be able to get to his legs as consistently as he did. And he really did. In every single match, he was able to get in quite a few times. Like, does that change at all? Like, they both have to be thinking a lot about this match, but they can't look ahead quite as much as maybe they normally would with a Final X dynamic. But it does feel like it's going to look different. But for me, like, the idea of Jordan from April to now, he's got to be like the most, I would say maybe the most angry Jordan Burroughs you can think about. Just the way the Olympic trials went down, the way the boos and the heckling and all that stuff, and you lose, and Dake goes to the Olympics.
It's kind of crazy because
You got booed in New Jersey,
You
too.
got booed in New Jersey too. That's what I was gonna say. It's like, when do you ever see people booing Jordan Burroughs?
They weren't booing Jordan Burroughs. They were booing
Balls.
the system, the process. They're not booing Jordan.
They were pro Chance,
dude,
and there was
There's a large Stellar Train
No.
contingent there.
People were,
Yeah, but they're
were
not-
mad at the singlet pull challenge at the end of the first match.
They're mad. They weren't mad until they gave the match to Jordan. That's when they were mad. They were not mad at the challenge. They were mad at the results of the challenge, and then they were mad that, like, dude, our guy lost because of that. And then I think anyone that was neutral started to be like, man, forget this. We're rooting for Chance now.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think they were booing Jordan. I think they were pro Chance and then against the calls, which were definitely favored Jordan in that first one. They could have definitely let that go.
When you're in a crowd and people are rooting for the underdog, it's pretty easy to fall into that crowd as well.
Yeah, but I feel like when have you ever heard a crowd root for the underdog against Jordan Burroughs?
I mean, yeah, it is. It
was
is
like the
crazy
first
that
time.
Burroughs wasn't getting as more love than an opponent in New Jersey. I mean, that
Yeah.
was a little crazy, but Chance is a popular guy and had a whole bunch of guys that he was training and their families.
Yeah. No, there was a huge Marstller crew there.
I'm just glad that Burroughs is back and it'll be in Nebraska, and it's almost like the pressure, like being a pretty unabashed Burroughs homer. I'm glad that no matter what happens, there's like no pressure as like a fan. That it's like, okay, we've already seen basically the worst of what could happen to Burroughs in a domestic
seriously.
tournament.
Oh
So
my God.
whatever happens now, it's like it's fine.
Unless they're in the same like quadrant of this bracket, I don't think they hit. I don't think they wrestle.
You don't think they make it to each other?
If they're on different sides, I
Think they
think
both
one,
lose?
one or both of them gets picked off first.
Damn.
I don't see Jordan getting picked off. I do agree that I think Chance is maybe a little more vulnerable to a bracket.
Did Chance wrestle like ringer at Olympic team trials?
I don't think so, but they wrestled last or in 2023, I'm pretty sure, and Chance beat him.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm almost positive that happened though. So I remember
They wrestle at 79.
No, I'm. Man,
79. I don't remember.
22 and 23 kind of blend together for me mentally.
Just go to that USA Wrestling results thing. Oh wait, here we go. No qualifiers for World Team Trials. Basically, U.S. Open final set on Saturday, 2 out of 3 pin separation per Nomad.
So anyone can enter the World Team trials.
They can
No.
take Bo Nickel up on their offer.
Oh, he said basically
Yeah,
a
he
U.S.
said basically
Open.
U.S. Open.
Oh wow,
I'm going.
70,
No, 79.
92.
Wait, 79 is what? 174?
Yeah.
70.
How much do you weigh?
Like 170,
Okay.
maybe. I haven't weighed myself in a long time. I don't like to look at that number.
You should take the Bo Nickel challenge. I bet Bo Nickel doesn't know.
I might be like 165 right now.
Take the Bo Nickel challenge.
You still have to get out of the first round.
You have to make it out of the first period. this-
first period. It was only first period.
It was only first
First
period.
3 minutes, he said, yes.
First 3 minutes.
period.
So all you have to do is make it a period.
But he said you cannot have any wrestling
We
background.
will listen.
I can fabricate it.
He doesn't. I'm not
He
trying-
He doesn't know who you are, Tyler.
That's what I'm saying. He might know who. He probably thinks you're the flow guy. He doesn't know.
That's
And
true.
we'll just scrub all your information.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could make it out of the first period.
Stop. Yes, you could.
I'm just kidding.
You could maybe not, but
Maybe not.
You also, I think,
Depends on who you hit.
Depends on who I hit.
at 70. Yeah, it really does. The problem.
Dude, I'm not making
I was
70.
supposed to say, I don't think you can make 70.
We'll get you down there, bud.
I mean, I could make it, but I'm even if I made that cut, I would be weaker than all the guys that I'm wrestling. I have not been weight training. I'm not in good shape, Christian.
you ever
Things are
considered-
not
You just
looking
have to
good.
watch. Have you never seen an 80s movie? You just have to do a montage real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, those are like.
That's
those
a
are literally
really
like
good point.
Those are literally like 4 minutes, and you can get shredded.
That's true.
We just got to go to Siberia real quick.
There's a reason I wear baggy shirts. It's not looking pretty under here.
We'll do something about it.
Tyler, Avery Gaming in the chat wants you, the most valuable.
Avery
listener.
Gaming wants everyone, man.
He says that he also weighs 170.
He's been calling out JD for
Well,
years.
You get worked, Avery. Just being honest.
Says make it happen, Flow Wrestling.
All right, so yeah, do we have the ringer beat him at 86? Okay, 3-2.
At Olympic team trials?
Scroll down a little, Drew, because I'm pretty sure they hit. Go down to 79. Find a 79. 86. Here we go. That's final X. Hit that 2 real quick for me.
I did. It's loading. It's very slow.
Wow. Because I'm pretty sure. All right,
I'm not seeing
I
it.
thought they. Yeah, they did 3-2
Oh.
over ringer.
Wow.
2023 U.S. Open.
Yep. So
Oh, yeah, I forgot it. Oh, yeah, in the Open. That's why I was having a hard time remembering because the U.S. Open was basically World Team Trials last year. And I was like misremembering that.
yeah,
Chance wrestled a lot in the last year or so.
yeah.
That was one of those matches, though, where it was 2-2, and then they gave
Shot clock.
a shot clock to Chance, like in the last minute.
Totally.
They gave
yeah.
they put Ringer on the clock, and Chance
They shouldn't have put anyone on the clock.
It's kind of crazy.
I remember that. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I do recall.
But so like that, like who would you pick? Like that's 50-50 almost. Marstller versus Ringer.
I totally agree. I think that's a
saw each
coin
other.
flip. I think there's a lot of JD's probably right that it's gonna be hard for them to hit, but
For all we know, though, they could be very close in terms of seeding.
and even if we said Jordan and Chance are the number 1 and number 2 best guys here, even then it'll be tough for them to hit in the finals. you
Yeah.
know?
Just think about like a Keegan.
Just they're also it's all the margins are like razor.
All right, let's get to some questions
Cool.
from friends. We got a bunch.
What time is it?
This one is from Grady Hamilton. Urgent question. Christian mentioned that after his 2021 Olympic loss to David Taylor, Yazdani had a huge freak out after.
Yeah.
Did anything similar happen this time around?
Honestly, I did not. I kept going down there looking for just this exact
Freak
stuff.
out.
Because there's like a lot. I mean, you guys watch the Olympics. You know, there's like a lot of time in between the stuff. So basically, for me, a match would end and it'd be like, all right, you have some time, or like I'm not as concerned with the next round. And I would just like go. It was kind of a little bit of a walk, but I'd go down and around and outside and to the mix zone where they all have to walk through. And be like, ooh, we're gonna see something good. And there's a few guys I identified as high probability of a freak out, and my number one was Alexanian. The Armenian Greco guy.
Mm-hmm.
He is crazy. He is the craziest by far.
The polar bear.
The polar bear.
The white bear.
And I said,
just white.
this is gonna be a good one. I said, Andy, this may be a good one. Let's go. So we went. Oh, man, this is actually all right. So I don't have a freak out story because he was actually just like he just looked like the most mad person ever, but he was just like laser focused and just walking forward like a broken man. But then his coach, I guess they gave out like little stuffed animal souvenirs. And so I'm standing next to Andy Hamilton and Andy is like laughing. I'm like, bro, why are you laughing? And then the coach walked by and was like really upset, but he was holding this stuffed animal in his arms as he walked by. And I missed it, but Andy saw it because I guess they gave him out or something like as a gift.
Yeah.
And so this guy's walking through, just like obviously upset. It's like we laugh because, whatever. But obviously we can identify with the emotion of that moment. This guy's walking through. So I didn't see that. And then when Yazdani lost to Ramazanov, I was like, well, this could be interesting. But I was like, he seemed like more at peace with it. And
He kind of like smiled and raised Ramazanov's hand.
he
after
he was very calm in this situation.
He knew his possibility, especially with his shoulder.
And another one I thought would be I think I had to leave before I saw Zare come through because I think Zare would have been
That one could have been bad.
a prime candidate. I mean, the way he lost is just insane, and he's an emotional guy. But I didn't see it. I just saw a smiling Geno, and then I went down there for a couple others. But you know who was the maddest? This was weird, and it's sort of interesting now. Vinesh, I wanted to. After she beat Sasaki, it's just like something crazy happens. You're like, I don't know. I just want to watch these people and see what they're like. And Yui was doing media forever. And I just got down as Vinesh was walking through. And she walked through. And I swear, the anger on her face as she was walking through, I was like, I was confused. It almost made me think something I did.
Lost.
What I saw on the mat was not actually what I saw. She looked that mad coming off the mat. And then there's a ton of Indian media there. And this one guy just started chatting me up and like wanted to get a little more perspective on like how big an upset this was. So I was telling him. And he's like, no, I wrote a book about Vinesh. I've been following her story forever. I was like, okay, so what was this? What I saw her walking by, she's like, she is just filled with rage. That is the only thing fueling her right now is just like this intense anger against the Indian Federation and everything she's gone through. And that's the only thing fueling her right now. I was like, okay, that maps because like the way she looked was so wild. But generally it didn't. I heard. Oh, I do know now. I'm thinking about Zare. I miss Zare. He like came running through, and then I heard all this screaming in the background. And then, because I had asked another media member, I was like, has Zare come through yet? And they're like, no. And then I asked a USA staffer, like, yeah, Zare already ran through. And that was him screaming in the back. So he was the one, but you couldn't.
The Iranians are very loud and emotional people.
Yeah.
I know that's why you got to be there. He was screaming, and you heard stuff. But
I wonder if in the
couldn't
back
see
of
it.
Zare's mind is Masumi, a younger guy that is in
Keep
Iran.
saying that. I don't know. I don't know if Masumi's gonna take him out.
You're out on Masumi.
Maybe. I need the gap to be narrowed a little bit more before I'm ready to say this man is gonna dethrone him anytime soon.
I'm ready to crown him.
Oh, but as far as this person just wants like a little behind the scenes sort of under. The funniest thing, I've told this story a couple times, like in the office. I don't know if I've said it yet, but the funniest thing, the cigarette culture around international wrestling is so hilarious to me. I mean, just because if you're around wrestling in America, the coaches are just like, they're not smoking cigarettes after rounds. And so you would go and you'd watch a match and then you would go to the mix zone. And literally these coaches would just go straight to where the media would exit. And you would have this like circle of like Kyrgyzstan wrestling coaches just like standing there, just like having the saddest cigarette ever, just like commiserating and smoking in a circle. You'd see them all over the place. So that always just kind of like, you just kind of crack you up. You're like, you just don't see this. But like all those stories about, the international wrestling and people smoking all the time, it's real. They love cigarettes.
I gotta get those guys on some Zins or something.
Did you guys talk on FRL about the wrestler who like kind of stole Taha's thunder when he was taking his shoes off?
I don't know if we did on FRL. We went in on him on the watch
party? We were like,
ridiculous.
cursing him out. We're like, get out of here, buddy. Like, not for you.
I still don't know that guy's name.
Lazarev.
Lazarev, like, man, you just got to let Taha have his moment. Like, holy cow.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Taha's he won Olympic bronze, and as he starts taking his shoes off, the guy he beat also starts taking his shoes off, and he finished taking his shoes off before Taha finished.
Yeah.
And I think Taha was almost intentionally like taking a long time to be like,
get
out of here, dude. But this guy took his shoes off and just starts standing over Taha with his shoes in his hand, just waiting for Taha to finish so that he can stand up and like raise his hand with Taha.
Main character syndrome.
Bro, stop it.
One guy is an Olympic gold medalist. That was Taha's third Olympic medal. He's a 4-time world champ, and he has like a half dozen other world medals. The Kyrgyzstan guy, Lazarev, has 0 world medals. He's just not on the same, not even close.
Yeah, you got
to Taha.
smoked.
It's just you picked a bad time to retire then. I don't know.
You gotta know you're not worthy of a shoe
shoe.
retirement,
Yeah.
whether or not Taha is retired, let alone if he is.
Or take your shoes off, wait for the crowd, and then step off the mat.
Yeah, just get out of there.
Just get out of there.
No, don't even do that.
I'm okay.
We don't just get everybody to get taking their shoes off just because he
Hold
made
on.
the
This
Olympics.
isn't everybody. He was wrestling for a medal at the Olympics. It's like,
Yeah, and guess what? He didn't win, and he never did win a medal match.
that's okay.
He won
That's
an
fine.
Asian gold in 2015, Asian champion.
Yeah, that's
2015.
big.
I think-
No, that is not worthy of taking your shoes off at the Olympics. I'm sorry. We have to have a standard.
There is no standard. Look at America.
Yeah, there's no
We
standard.
have some crazy ones.
Yeah. He could have taken them off and been, all right, I'm also retiring, but anyway, here's the stage. Here's the literal living legend.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
Taha's an
we got-
all-timer.
Get off the mat and let Taha do
In
it.
America, we have officials retiring just from specific events.
With the
Yes.
So like, that's my last time at the FRLs. Let's do a ceremony for this.
The whistle salute.
Yeah. All right.
So many whistles.
All right. Keep the questions coming. That was a fun one.
Virginia is for FRL. Thoughts on shifting women's weights a bit higher? For extreme comparison, about all but 7 NBA players could compete at heavyweights at their walk-around weight, whereas about half of the WNBA league wouldn't be able to compete.
So I think that it's important to not take the mistakes that are made in wrestling are like looking at the world population or the population of the WNBA. I think it would be better just look at wrestling's population and where are we seeing the participants and align the weight classes around those ranges. That's why you see we have 4 weights between 50 and 57. It's not because that's where all the women are in the world. It's because that's where the population of women's wrestlers are concentrated largely. So I think that's how you do it. And I don't think we're missing a huge participation swath with not having a higher women's max weight, even though I do understand exactly what this guy's saying.
Yeah. Would I like to see it? Sure. In terms of priority, it's pretty not high up.
Yeah.
In terms of things I would change
Yeah.
if I had a magic wand and could do whatever I want with the sport of wrestling. Yeah. Maybe, like an 82 or something, 84, but I don't know.
Cool.
Percentage of women's athletes above 76 kilos right now is not insanely high.
Cool.
All right, from NCAA Wrestling Cards, if you're Ohio State RTC, do you recruit Kyle Snyder right now with the rivalry against Aaron Brooks seeming unavoidable? Lots of big RTC moves lately.
I don't think so. I don't think we'd see Kyle leave Penn State in any circumstance. I mean, yeah, that would surprise me. And obviously the Brooks dynamic is going to get interesting, but we really don't know when.
When did he go to Penn State?
2019.
Okay, because I remember a big factor was like his wife went to med school there or something, right?
That's true.
So that's probably like a huge, whatever she's doing is probably a huge consideration too.
Where is she practicing medicine?
Where is she practicing medicine? Can she do that in Ohio?
They don't have doctors in Ohio.
I don't know
Just
if they do.
shamans.
Mm-hmm.
Also, speaking on Ohio State, from Jay, what chance do you give Ohio State to win NCAAs in 2026? Hard to say with the transfer portal now, but the lineup is young and talented.
Well, I think the conversation still starts and ends with Penn State, right? And who are they still going to have around in 2026? They'll still have Luke Littledahl, Braden Davis, Tyler Kasak. They're going to have Mitchell Messenbrink. They'll have the Mirasolas, Josh Barr, PJ Duke. I think by 2026, Joe Seeley will be there. Shane Van Ness will still be there. So that's where, and that's just who will still
Levi
be
Haynes?
around. Levi Haynes, just the national champion. I forgot. Facundo will still be around. So I still think, even though they're going to have really good guys, they're going to have, Mendez and Feldman are going to be a great nucleus with Buzakis, and we'll see how Geog develops.
Davino.
Rocco Welsh, Davino. That's a really good group. But I feel like we've seen it with almost all the guys I've seen with Penn State. So contend, yeah. But as you say, the portal may need to be a factor there for some of their weight classes. And yeah, Oklahoma State's going to be in that mix too.
Has Ohio State got any portal guys? Really?
Not really. They used to. I mean, they before the portal.
I'm saying in the NIL era, they haven't really hit it that hard. I feel like.
No.
From Dominic Montano, if Japan could figure out the upper weights, could they be one of the best teams in the world, if not the best? They have the potential to have 4 World Olympic champs, Takahashi, Gucci, Kyuka, Odaguru, and 1 silver medalist, Takatani, through the first 5 weights.
I was reading a comment on one of our videos, one of our recap videos of the Olympics, someone who knew the Japan system a little bit better, and they said that in Japan, and this is one guy who was a commentator, so I don't know how accurate this is, but he said that in Japan, it's more prestigious to be like a judo champ, and so a lot of their best upper weight guys, like in combat sports, are doing judo instead of wrestling.
Yeah, it's a similar thing. Like the population or the participation is just not as many around the bigger weights for Japan. So it's not like they can't it's not like I figure it out's weird because like their system is obviously fantastic. I just don't think they have enough of the athletes. But yeah, without a doubt, they could be one of the best. They are one of the best. And in an Olympic setting, they're gonna shine brighter because they can just really they get all their talent in, and really 3 of the weights are sort of in their wheelhouse. So yeah, they could. I don't think we'll see it. I feel like every 4 years we're always gonna be like, wow, Japan, because they're not gonna have a 10 weight team like we can put up, or Iran or Russia. But I think every 4 years we'll be like, oh my gosh, they put out some absolute beasts.
Have they always put out really good 74 kilo guys though?
They've been pretty good at 70. I mean, Jordan beat a guy in the finals or for bronze before.
Okay.
Is that the other Takatani?
It was another Takatani, which is not the other Takatani, which was like a 57. Yeah, but they've been pretty good there.
This is by far their best.
Yeah, we haven't seen a guy make an Olympic final.
No, but from Cody Pevler, with AB moving up, is it official that we have our first #1 wrestling for a different country? Feels like Amin would be the favorite right now.
No, Stevan Micic won Worlds last year, and I don't know if I would say Miles Amin would win our trials process at 86.
That's so crazy.
I mean, he lost to Trent Hidley, who no one is.
That was so long ago.
I mean, that was the year he won Olympic bronze. It's not like he wasn't good that year.
It's forever ago.
That
was actually the year before because that was 2020 and he won Olympic bronze 2021.
Yeah. When was that? It was November of 2020, which is technically 2021.
No.
I mean, he's. No, it's not our first because Stevan. It's like hypothetical with Miles. Impossible is like known.
Both strong Michigan men.
Yeah. Thanks.
Did we answer this one yesterday? I can't remember, so I'll ask it again if we did. From Cognac J. Qualification aside, would Kurt and Jordan Burroughs have been able to beat Takatani at 74 kilograms?
At a certain point in his career, yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying if he's asking if the Olympic trials version of Jordan Burroughs beats Takatani, I would not say yes. I think that guy was just on a different level. I do think the stylistic changes are notable and interesting. Like, is he going to be able to dart in on Jordan's legs the way he was Kyle?
Right.
I don't know about that. Is Jordan Burroughs going to give up that many parterre points? I've never really seen Dake give up that many parterre points, so it's not really the best comparison, but I really haven't seen Jordan Burroughs give them up. So that's my thoughts on that.
From one of our favorite question askers, hello, my enemies. How does Zahid do at 86 kilograms? Who replaces Dake in 2025 if needed? Is the U.S. Golden Era over?
Zahid would do very well. I mean, he's a world medalist at a weight he's not big enough for, and he's really not at that big of an 86. He would certainly be a world medalist.
Remember how close he was to beating Brooks?
I mean, my gosh, they had to intervene.
Yeah.
They had to
Think about how much that changed the trajectory of
it changed
everything.
Yeah, we talked about
dominoes.
Yeah, no singlet pull, and
David Taylor might not be coaching at Oklahoma State right now.
David Taylor might be the Olympic champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all on the table.
Donnie could have freaked out again because it's like Taylor.
We know.
Another spiral. He was probably not freaking out because he was just happy it was someone new.
If David Taylor goes on a run at Oklahoma State, like, it'll all be traced back to that moment.
To this guy grabbing the, yeah. No, so that's a good question. I think Zahid will do great at 86, and we're in good hands there if he's the guy. Miles Zahid's a great example. Hasn't Zahid beaten Miles?
Zahid's beaten Miles. Miles also beat in round 2 of the Olympics the guy that beat Zahid 5-1 at Worlds last year.
Yeah, but head to head is more the topic.
Well, I mean, but you talk about. No, it's not the topic.
It kind of is.
Whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Who replaces Dake in 2025 if needed? Man, there's a lot of contenders. If Dake, the more I've thought about it, I think maybe you brought it up, and now I've been thinking about it a bunch. I want Dake to be 79 and then 86 and 28. I think
6.
Yeah.
He did it in 16.
Yeah, but he didn't make the team.
He was right there. And Jaden Michael Tabori. I mean,
Beat David Taylor.
yeah.
He'd be 86 kilogram Olympic champion, David Taylor.
Richard Perry.
You think 37-year-old Kyle Dake is beating Zahid?
There's no great options for a 37-year-old. What? I mean, I guess he could transform into
basically
B.
over at that
Mihan Lopez. Shut up. But no, I mean, no. There's no great options when you're 37 and a professional wrestler.
That's true. He's getting younger.
He'll be 29 then.
When does that joke I almost make that joke every time, but
joke's getting younger
Is
too.
it getting okay? Okay, whoa! Boom! Wow, that was great.
Okay, and then is the golden era over? No, we've got a lot of savages coming through.
I think it will look different though.
We're phasing
Transition
out.
period, perhaps.
Well, you know, the nucleus of Burroughs, Dake, David, Gilman, Kyle is changing. But the other thing you got to realize is it's a 10-weight system now. So it's not been that nucleus, you know, when you think about it. So we're going to be really, really good. I mean, Mason Paris was our number 2, and he got world bronze after, you know, whatever with Gable. So we've got depth. It's not over. So sorry about that. Hello, my enemies. We will never fall off like Iran did after the 2016 Olympics. That was horrible. They didn't qualify for the World Cup the next year because they were outside the top 10
Dude,
in
that was
2017. Can you imagine? Hello, my enemies. USA couldn't be us. Never USA again.
Damn.
Can you imagine us falling out of the top 10?
No.
That would be. You want to talk about
What happened to them?
Iran?
Rasul Kadim ran through. If a guy did not win gold, they would replace him.
Just replace it. They just ran out of guys.
You can't go to the Iran team trials anymore. We're just going to keep sending out like U20 guys.
In Yazdani.
And Yazdani.
Wait, Yazdani's the only one that kept
forever.
winning. That's why he was the only one that kept on the team.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's when, you know, all the questions after the Olympics, like, oh, what do we do? It's like, no. When we're outside the top 10, then maybe we start looking at things.
Man, it's brutal. Did you see the quote from Zare? I think you're the one who reposted it.
Yeah.
That's why I saw it.
Very measured.
He was like, I will carry the weight of this on my shoulders till I die.
They're always talking about
Yeah.
for the fans, like
To bring it home to you, great
Yes.
nation.
Yeah.
Great
Even if they're not fans,
a lot of
they
pressure.
represent the entire country.
yeah, I know. That's why it's not good. That's why you. Yeah.
I feel like the best,
they freak out.
a lot of the best, at least the best guys in the United States are like, yeah, if I don't know, they have it in a very, they put it all into perspective very well. It's like, if I lose, my life isn't over.
True.
This one's from Lee Smith. Which non-Ayala Hawkeye do you expect to be the next Hawkeye NCAA champ?
I could see Angelo.
Yeah.
Probably be.
Gabe Arnold?
Ben Keeter?
Gabe, I don't know. Maybe.
Give him 3 years. 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, Gabe, maybe. I think he's going to be in some tough weight classes.
I put my money on Angelo.
Ben Keeter. It's interesting. I really need to see a full season with him and see what happens when he just wrestles. Feels like his potential is insane. So I'd maybe think Ben once Greg graduates. Could he get into that Feldman conversation? That's a big gap, but if he could, he'll be right there to win it.
Similar note, this one's from the real Avery Lynch. Will the Hawkeye finalist streak end this upcoming season? It's possible, but my vote is no.
Probably not. I mean, Caliendo's a pretty obvious finalist.
Between
65.
Ayala, Caliendo, Arnold, Keeter.
Keeter in the finals would be. If Keeter made the finals, I'd be like, really, wow.
Yes, I would
be
too, but I'm
pretty
just
shocked.
tossing him in, like, thinking of their lineup. Like, they get one minimum between that group right there.
Yeah.
Right? I would think.
97?
Parco.
Parco.
So,
Oh, yeah, Parco.
all right, this one's from Jed Cox. It feels like Spay should have a recurring segment like Bracky used to with his Alien Hour. Should it be ... new advances in law enforcement because he's a cop? Fun facts, American.
That's an
history.
old joke that's getting
That is
older
and
and older.
I don't even.
got good-
I actually have
I don't even know
proof
that
that
joke.
Spay is a cop ever if you can pull in these photos.
Oh, wow. We have cop proof again.
Yeah,
What?
Spay is definitely a cop.
Everett stepped out and he'll be right back.
That was,
Is that real?
Took a restroom break right before the last question.
you are colluding
That's like
just like a cop would.
That is crazy.
Oh my God,
Correct.
that is
Rigged
so
the system.
funny.
Oh, you were gonna ambush me. That was the whole plan, because that's not in the document.
This guy had a wire planted.
Ever. If we can pull up
He may not be
the
there.
Spay photos.
Well, I just saw the
that
camera
screen
switch,
change.
so
Oh,
he's got
okay.
to be back.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. that's a
Wow.
handsome profile.
License and registration, please.
Yeah.
Right? You're coming up to my window.
All right. Well, how about this?
Oh,
The people in
no.
the chat.
Here's another one. Yep.
Oh, and then there's
That's you.
That's
Yeah.
John Fry. That's what everybody in the
That
chat
guy's a
was saying.
beast.
I don't even know what it is, but I had to.
He's
I
an
don't
old
know
MMA fighter.
well, JD. I will say,
Oh.
I feel like me or Christian could make the mustache equals cop argument, but I don't know if that you can do that.
You look more copy.
That's true.
Like you have a.
But I'm not a narc.
He had a literal vanity plate that had the word cop in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my license plate said RoboCop, but it was spelled with an 8 instead of a B because RoboCop with a B was taken.
Dang it. Best thing
Yeah,
to
JD has a mustache and a camo hat right now. I've never seen anyone give more cop than that. Why is
It's all about personality, though.
why is that?
Yeah, it's so true. It's
Why
like,
is Spade being a cop an old joke? Like when did that start?
he's in law
He's an
enforcement.
arc.
Yeah,
When did that start?
That was like a bracky
when he's
thing from
17.
like yeah, like very early in my career.
Yeah.
Bracky started calling me a cop, and then of course it's false because I've never narked on anyone.
This guy goes to Megadeth concerts.
Yeah.
and
Also, shout out to cops. I feel like just cops just take L's like, oh, cops, sweet.
Yeah, like Bracky comes back from a wedding.
Thank
like,
you to
my,
cops.
like best friend just got married. He's a cop in West Virginia. By the way, Spay, you're a dang cop.
Exactly, that is true. His best
That's
friend.
totally how it would go.
Yeah.
Totally unfair.
When I was in college, my first year in our dorms, we had cable, and but we lost.
brag.
I know, right? But we lost the remote, and it was stuck on Spike TV. So me and my roommate just watched Cops for like 2 months straight. That's all we could watch. We couldn't change. It was either going to like. We could change the input so you could get on like the PlayStation, but if you wanted to watch actual TV, all we could watch was Spike TV, which is 75% cops.
Yeah, that's why,
Why are you sweating?
sweaty all the time.
Right.
Great show.
This guy in the chat, Chuz, says that JD, you and I are both the super troopers at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Live PD. Bracky got me on that show.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great one.
it's like cops.
It basically, it's like Red Zone, NFL Red Zone, but
Oh my
with
God.
crime.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're like, all right, let's head back to Albuquerque and see what's going on there. And they'll be like, all right, and they'll be just at this crazy place.
Actually, at Fargo, Connor and I had an afternoon, and we just watched Best of Cops on YouTube for like an hour.
It's
Pretty good.
Caleb wants to watch it, but I was like, no, it's gonna make you pretty sad. It's a lot of drug addicts.
This one's from our friend Joe Gilpin, who works right over there. Since he was there helping cover the event, was there anything that Tyler saw at ADCC that he wishes UWW Worlds or NCAs would adopt?
Oh man.
Fire.
No, I'm just kidding. I wish I would have had time to think about that question. Not.
We'll come
We'll
back.
come back to you. We'll come back to you, precious angel. We'll find some other questions.
Yeah, ask another question.
Watching your head sweat.
This one's from Slink. CP, be straight with me.
All right.
I've been a loyal fan and question asker for a while now.
Thank you, Slink.
Is Yanni going to be a Cowboy?
I don't think so. I don't think Yanni's leaving. That rumor flew around a lot. I believe he is not going to leave Cornell.
Okay.
Strongly.
Asked and answered.
This one's from Sways. Should takedowns be like in freestyle where you have to truly break an opponent down? So quad pod is the position. It's not a takedown in freestyle. It is in folk style.
I would never actually advocate for the change just because I think, whatever. But it kind of would be awesome because it is, at least from the quad pod application, it's just way more the knee hit or the elbow hit or the head hit. It's just like maybe a more black and white definition. So I kind of like that. But no, I probably would say don't change it.
It kind of feels like in folk style, it should be a takedown from quad pod. Like you're behind him, the guy's not doing anything. Like that seems like a top bottom position. It's not
I
an
know.
escape. Like you would be accumulating riding time if you were on top. That's I always never really liked that either. How even in the definition of when you're getting riding time is not the same as when you're getting a takedown.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
I feel that, dog.
It's weird.
It is weird.
This one's also from Swayze. Another rules question. 1947 NCAA rulebook on stalling and referee's position on top.
Jeez.
The first time is just a warning. The second time, both were stood up and an escape was awarded. Third time, reversal of position was awarded. DQ after. Thoughts?
I mean, the reversal of position is insane because you may not even want that.
Right?
So now this guy's on top of me. Not good. I love. They did not like stalling. You could tell that they were way less tolerant. I would love to know what they would consider stalling in 1947. I bet they just wanted to keep the action going like crazy.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's the opposite. 'Cause back then, weren't matches like 12 minutes long?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like to believe that was the greatest generation, they call it.
Yeah.
Spay could tell us about that.
It's insane to me.
What's the greatest generation, Spay?
Hey.
The people that are old millennials or young Gen X.
Yes.
That's by far the best.
Wait, that's not the good. It's actually the greatest generation is like the World War II era.
I mean, they're pretty.
Wait, he's just talking about the best one.
No, but it's like
the number
actually
one.
actual name?
No, but he's talking about the best generation.
Like if you're rating all the greatest generation as the name, they as a group are pretty decent, but
but the greatest
older millennials are the actual number one best.
Well, that would be me, and I don't agree.
Millennials are this nation's backbone.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, the generation that fought in World War II, they get called. You got it. You didn't need me.
Wasn't it? I thought it was World War One.
That's the silent generation.
Oh snap!
See, you
It's
don't
insane.
know it because they're so silent. That's why you didn't know it.
Yeah,
It's insane they basically did freestyle for the second stalling. They're just like, back to your feet. Nothing's happening here.
I
Kinda
back.
like that.
I wanted to. This reminded me nothing from ADCCs that I particularly thought was okay, we need to bring that into wrestling. But it reminded me because in grappling they do let you do a lot of stuff out of bounds, and when they are ready to call you, they put you in the same position back in the middle.
Yeah,
I don't want that in wrestling. But what happened to continuation?
yeah. It's
Why do we not do that anymore? The second someone's foot steps out, we do we're not allowed to score takedowns anymore.
it existed a little bit. It's
You used to be able to double leg someone into the mat next door.
yeah. We always have extreme interpretations compared to the rest of the world. I feel.
Really? I like that. I like being able if just because on your way to a takedown, the guy stepped his foot out first, you should still be able to try to get the takedown.
I think they do some.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not gone. It's just like
Frustrates me.
it's a little tough to know when it'll happen.
All right, this one is from Virginia is for FRL.
Wow.
Again, Spencer said, not sure what's next for me. Time for some side quest. No way he leaves Hawkeye Wrestling Club, but maybe he travels around the world.
I think he should hit some overseas tournaments. I think that'd be good for him. You know, yeah, I don't know what side quest necessarily means. I think he's probably just, you know, he's been focused on the Olympics and now focused probably on making a world team.
He did some side quests after NCAAs.
And it's kind of interesting because, yeah, he went to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he knows he's out till Final X, right? So you know, like that, whatever June date. I'm assuming June. We don't really know, but will be, you know, when he has to wrestle again. So you can kind of start really building out your season. It'd be good for him to go. I think go overseas and train, wrestle some overseas tournaments. But yeah, no, not leaving Hawkeye. That's for sure.
He also said in this post that Virginia's for FRL was referring to, he's not retiring. So I know that was a question for some people or whatever. Or he said, I am likely not retiring, or I think I'm not retiring, or something like that.
Yeah, he's not retiring, guys.
If the weight is 57, you got to feel like he's the favorite to win a world title.
Yeah. I mean, if Ray says, I want to win the worlds at 57, you know, you feel like that's probably another coin flip match. It was a 2-2 match.
I don't think Ray will be back if it's 57.
He doesn't know. My friend Ray Higuchi, I will now call him my friend. We have DM'd enough that I think we are acquaintances. Trending towards friendship. He said, most likely 61, but you don't know.
I liked when he posted a video of him playing video games. He said he was training. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He had
Well,
the
I think that's what
monitor right in his
Spencer is
face.
doing.
So close.
Literally, he's just gonna do. He's gonna be playing some video game side quests.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ray Higuchi also said he likes the kettlebell twist that Spencer does with his forearm.
He said forearms, I think forearm strength is important. And he also said something like protein is key.
Yeah.
I agree.
Font of
I
wisdom.
asked Japanese fans what the key to their success was, and they said rice.
Rice.
They ate lots of rice.
That's some really good food if you're hungry and you want like 1,000 of something.
Yes.
That's Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
This one is from high school wrestling legend. Do we underestimate John Smith's 6 in a row? We have had a decade of absolute legends, and the most anyone has put together is 3.
You know, John has said it's too hard now. He said we probably will never see 6 again. What's the most Sajalive got in a row?
He got 6, didn't he?
He got
Not in a row.
18, 19.
21, 21, 22. He got 5.
Yeah.
See, he never got it. I mean, think about Sajalive never got 6.
He maybe could have. You know, there were some other factors in there, but.
Well, I mean, he could have if he had won in
Everybody's got to deal with factors
2023.
and stuff. I mean, yeah, like Russia's definitely in a special position. First they were all out, and then they boycotted when they did
Also,
get into.
the pandemic taking away 2020 from him.
And then
But he won 21-21.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
they squeezed
amount.
it in.
Sure.
But like, I mean, you know, there's all sorts of misfortune that can happen.
Right. Of
outside
course.
of your
Health
control.
is
Part of how hard it is.
Yeah, I really, you never want to say we'll never see something again. I feel really confident we'll never see someone win the Olympics 5 times. 6 in a row is more attainable than
we'll see it
that
again.
for sure. 5 Olympic champion.
No.
Oh, 6 in a row.
6 in a row.
Yeah, in the sport of wrestling, it's tough to say we'll never see that.
I think women's wrestling's got a potential. I mean,
It wouldn't-
Sasaki
It's
can't.
happened multiple times in women's wrestling.
Fujinami, I would bet on. I think Amit's got
Meat.
it. You know,
She's
greater
at
than
3
zero
right
chance.
now.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been crazy if Sidikov did 6 in a row.
Gosh,
It would have been crazy.
it would have been.
It would have
crazy.
been It would have been. It wouldn't have been crazy.
Well, like going in, he's the favorite.
He
like,
sort of did 4 in a row,
You can't call it crazy.
but it's like he also skipped.
It would have been super impressive, not crazy.
remember when Sajid had the injury default? 'Cause, like something like that just like happens. Like
No, I'm just saying.
crazy.
Also, I look at it differently when you skip world championships. Like Sid.
Yeah.
He didn't skip.
He skipped 21.
He's hurt.
Oh, that's right.
No, he wasn't.
No,
Just skipped.
but he also competed several months before that. at
Yeah,
the
that's
Olympics.
that's kind of
That's
different.
a different scenario.
So David Taylor. I'm just saying. I look at it differently if you skip a worlds.
That is such a unique world to skip, though.
Okay.
So is,
I agree. It's different.
is Mihan not the GOAT?
Yeah, because he skipped
Oh, he's
worlds.
absolutely. We're talking. I said 5 Olympics. That's GOAT level. When Sidakov wins 5 Olympics, then okay, fine.
That's not what I said. I said it wouldn't have been crazy if he won 6 in a row.
I mean, he got 3, so literally.
Okay, let me clarify
to
what I'm
double.
saying. It would have been crazy that he did it, like crazy impressive, but I wouldn't have been shocked if he did do it.
This whole thing reminds me of a Chael Sonnen story that he likes to tell. I think he's told on this podcast, but he recently told it on Mike Mal's podcast again, but it's so funny. Chael was watching Kendall Cross train or something. He was at Oklahoma State, and he mentions Kendall Cross to John Smith, and John Smith has no idea who Chael Sonnen is at this time, and John Smith goes, "Oh, Kendall Cross, I'd whoop him," or something, and she goes, "Kendall Cross, he's a really good wrestler. What are you talking about? Like, are you sure? He won the Olympics." And John Smith throws in a big old chew and just goes, "Once."
Classic.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 6. John Smith has a beard now. Also, I saw that. I think
Hell yeah.
some guy I follow tweeted a picture of his wife with John. He's got this awesome, as you would.
It's got to be sick.
He pulls off a great beard. It's like he's been waiting all these years. Someone should have told John he could have grown a beard at any point in time, and then he could still be coaching.
The one thing I'll say about Sidakov, too, is I'm counting him as 4 in a row, even though he was not at 21-22.
Okay, well then, if
He won the 4 in a row that he could be at.
No.
Not that he could. Whatever, dude.
Years.
if he had won 21 and missed
4
20,
years in a row that he could.
I would have agreed if he had wrestled in 21 worlds.
Ugh.
Sorry,
Ugh.
he was too good for Oslo. Then you're not good enough for 6 in a row.
You just love Oslo.
Yeah.
All right, last question from aspiring sophist. Did Jamalov get the best Olympic homecoming? Did you see this? Spake, can you
saw
pull
it.
this up for us?
He got a lot.
Oh yeah. I can. Yeah, give me a second.
My friend, man, I can never remember his handle, but I DM with this guy always. He's basically like the Jamalov.
Che. One.
Yeah, he knows a lot.
Chechnya.
He says he got like a bunch of money. He got a bunch from Uzbekistan and from Chechnya for winning.
That's what's crazy is like he got stuff in Chechnya too, even though he won the medal for Uzbekistan.
Yeah, they know what's up. So he got like apartments and a Chevy Tahoe, $100,000 Chevy Tahoe. Must be very tricked out.
Highly.
I just don't know much about modern car prices.
I saw a clip that said he gave one of the cars he got to Adam Satiev.
That's fair.
That's his
It was his
coach.
coach.
Yeah.
2-bedroom apartment. Plus, look at this
hero's
horse
welcome.
sled parade.
Horse sled, and then they're all in Rolls Royces, which I misidentified on purpose as Bentleys.
Yeah. Just to trick people that don't know cars.
Yeah, just to see if other people were paying attention.
Yeah, but to the question, like for sure, we say John Smith 6, but 6 in a row is really insane.
Well, I thought the question was, did he get the best homecoming?
Yeah.
The question was, did Jamal get the best homecoming?
Yeah, I know. Well,
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't seen a single other homecoming, so sure, this is the best I've
Yeah,
seen.
Stani always gets showers
There's some.
with praise. Iran has good homecomings as well.
I saw the Iranian, like Saravi, some of their Greco guys that won, since they didn't win any gold. Hassan still got a nice little, bike parade and was at the sunroof of a car.
Are those dollar amounts actually U.S. dollars, or is it in the
That's Bitcoin.
native?
I think he did the
That's
do
pretty
USD.
crazy.
To Ethereum.
yeah.
That's how. Yeah, everything is measured as the dollar.
But back to a Spay question. Other than like advancements in law enforcement, but like fun facts in history or interesting current events around the world, I do think there's something to that. A recurring, Spay could teach us a lot.
I want a segment where Spade just pulls up a map and goes through
Social
the map.
studies with Spay. We've done
I
this.
mean,
Yeah.
there's if you go to www.flowwrestling.org, you can pull up wrestling by the numbers or Paris Olympic Games by the numbers.
No, I don't want that. I want you literally just looking at
Yeah,
a map and just
yeah.
talking about the geography of the map.
Yeah.
At any given point in time, you could just see. Show us some prime real estate locations. Oh, here we go.
Spade's great at this.
We're gonna
Go to the Caucasus region. Show me where where Zhamalov's from.
Jamalov.
I want to walk the streets of Zhamalov.
He's from Hassevert. He's actually from a
Look how
village
quick he found
outside.
that.
This is tremendous.
Hassevert.
That was nuts, bro.
So here's Grozny. That's where Zhamalov got a.
Yeah, we all know this.
You asked. That's where he got an apartment. The Satievs are from Hassevert. I think they're from like outside here. So what happened was in the
knows the suburb of the
in the 90s, Chechnya was basically flattened because Russia had like 2 wars because Chechnya was trying to gain independence, and Russia said, well, we'll let the Soviet republics go independent, but not the constituent parts of the Russian Republic. So they rolled in tanks, killed a lot of people, and then it set off a bunch of refugees. And that's why you see in France and Belgium, there's a bunch of guys with like V's at the end of their name. A lot of them are Chechens, but they're not like transfers. A lot of people think, oh, more Russians over there. Well, their family left when they were in like middle school at the oldest, most of them even younger.
Most famous one, Hamzat Chimaev,
Yeah.
lives in Sweden.
And then Sweden took on a bunch, and you know, it's not uncommon for Western nations that have the means and the wealth to take on refugees. You see it in the U.S. as well. But
What's the streets of Grozny?
well, now it's been completely rebuilt.
Find a school.
They have their mosques are like crazy big because they got federal money.
Got that mosque money. Wow,
That's construction.
Looks pretty good.
There we go.
That's
That's
tremendous radio for the people.
Oh yeah. If you're not watching video, you're just missing a good tour of Grozny.
so there's like big office buildings and whatnot,
Dang.
but there's really no demand for that. They're kind of vanity projects that Kadyrov does to kind of show how great he is, but really he's just like a petty little mini dictator warlord
Yeah.
that gets money from Russia, and Putin uses that money to pay off Kadyrov to keep the whole area under his thumb and not in rebellion.
So they don't have Chechen War 3.
So is this a good potential vacation destination?
I would not go anywhere near Russia, considering they basically are taking people kidnapped right now and using them as barter for releasing other people who have committed war crimes.
Okay. That's fair.
Well, I'm planning my trip for next spring.
Yeah. Spring break 2026 can be in a different location, maybe.
Maybe
Makhachev.
Yeah.
I think that That's
That's
of all the places
right by the ocean.
if you have like connections over there, they probably will be able to protect you a little bit better because they kind of do their own thing.
For all we know, this is Myrtle Beach.
See, I'm glad that Spade's pulling up a map because it's in my mind, Dagestan is in the mountains. This is on water.
Yeah, the
This
Caspian
doesn't look
Sea,
a mountain at all.
That's where all the caviar comes from.
Yeah, the blue is the water on the map.
Do you see those bumps? Those are mountains.
Those are
Yeah,
mountains.
but that city is not in a mountain. It's on the coast.
Well, we can.
It's right next to it.
It's
like
next to
like
the
saying
there.
Denver
It's
is
next to
in
the mountain, but I've been told that they were in the mountains, and that city is not in the
Yeah,
mountains.
look, this is Gurgabil. This is where
that's in-
Tajudinov
that-
is from.
Gargamel? No,
that
Gargamel
is in
was
the mountains.
That's the bad guy from Smurfs.
And this is where the Smurfs live over here, Kikuni.
Oh, that's right.
But
That's
yeah.
in the mountains. That's real Dagestan.
Well, it's both.
No.
Wow. I hope you don't run any Dagestanis.
And this is
They're gonna
Durban-
shave your mustache off.
This is where Karugliev is from. He is Lesgin, which is different. That they invented the Lesginka, which is that cool dance.
Or where Boltakayev's from?
Boltakayev, I believe, is from Chechnya.
Let's gank a goat.
He's from Grozny.
I do want to go to Dagestan. I think it'd be sick.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, while he books his travel to Dagestan, we're gonna go. We're gonna be back Monday, right? Yeah.
I will be.
Where are you gonna be?
Not here.
Are you? Tyler's kicked off the show. Yeah, you can start the music. We're gonna go. Hey, make sure you're watching Cadet Worlds. It's going all week long till the
And
break of
weekends.
dawn. Actually, before the break of dawn, if we're being honest, because it's taking place in Amman, Jordan. So watch that. We got some World Team Trials. Hopefully, content coming soon. A lot happening.
Hopefully, we have some content.
Yeah,
That'd be great if
I'm banking on us making content. I'm pretty sure that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your questions. We told you we'd get to them, and by golly, we got to a lot of them. Thank you guys. See ya Monday. Goodbye.